No, it was. I wasn't making out with a girl. What happened was, I had Chinese pork spare ribs, and the sauce was crimson, bright red. Huh? Yeah, what's up?
I was saying, I looked at the regular dog, wet dog food and the puppy dog food. It's just 1% more fat. You know, it's 10% and the regular dog food is 9%. We can just cut out on other stuff, like just give her a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, and then cut out like, you know, she don't get her own egg and all that.
Okay, all right. That'll reduce her weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way she don't feel mistreated.
All right, all right. It's time for the first of the elixir. Yeah, I kind of like that, the pork rib stain. Yeah, the pork sauce, the Chinese ribs. No, I wasn't kissing a random Russian woman in the bar again. That was that one time. Yeah, there was this kind of like hot Russian chick, this blonde chick that would come to that old place was called Chuck and Charlie's, and she always looked badass. And I knew she was Russian because she had those like those beady eyes they have, you know. They got those like circular, they got those beady looking eyes, the weird looking shit. And so I could tell she was Russian, but this was like a hot Russian with beady eyes. Be like South Park with Terrence and Phillip. They have the beady eyes, the Canadians. But I don't know, for some reason, yeah, the Russian people, they just seem to have those big circular eyes, right? I mean, but this was like a kind of a hot Russian blonde chick. I'd seen her in the bar, you know, with friends and stuff, and seen her around the place, and then I was like, "That's a Russian chick," you know, I could tell. So one day I had a few, you know, she had a few, and I was just like, "Hey!" And just started making out at the bar. I didn't know her. I didn't even know her name. So we made out and all that randomly, and then like, yeah, didn't get her name or number or anything. You know, it was just like. That's the end of the story, really. Chug and Charlie's, yeah, that was a place that used to be around in the North Houston, Spring, Texas bar scene. it was always a dump, but with the Chuggin' Charlie's name on it, it kind of turned into like, and the owner Charlie and the people around it, it kind of turned it into its own like 2000s, like 2010s kind of Cheers. Well, I guess late 2000s kind of Cheers for Texas. It became like a spot, yeah. It became like a cool place, and yeah. They had a lot of pretty women, and they had a lot of cool dudes, and a lot of cool people that went there. So. Yeah, the characters in that place, besides myself, man, it was a character-topia in there. I remember this old man found me in the grocery store, and he knew that I went to Chuggin' Charlie's, and he's like, do you go to Chargin' Charlie's? And I was like, I go to Chargin' Charlie's. Like, Charles in charge. No. This place was like this dump, you know? But this guy Charlie came from, what was it, Michigan or somewhere up there? And he bought the place, and he made a couch, and he got a TV, and he put in the bar an old Nintendo system, like 8-bit Nintendo in there. Really old school. And then he put 2 billiard tables. And then there was this little shitty stage for like one... for like open mic. It was an awful stage, but they made a little stage. I mean, tiny stage. It only had like one little platform and like 2 steps, and I think it was enough to get a like a singer songwriter and then like a drummer or something. That's about all they could. Maybe they could pack a few more people in, but that was about it. Most of the time, it was the digital jukebox. So, and they just had one bar, and that was it. It was just one long bar, and then. I love when people get the names wrong of places. Like, I love how the old man told me, "Did you go to Chargin' Charlie's?" It was called Chuggin' Charlie's, and Chargin' Charlie's. No, I didn't go to that. All right, I love it when this old neighbor I had, Phil. It was the 2008 election with John McCain and Barack Hussein Obama, and he said, "Hey, I think about voting for McClane," and like it was John McClane from Die Hard, and I was like, "His name is McCain," like, but every time we would talk, he would do the same thing. "Hey, I'm thinking about voting for that McClane." Thinking about voting for McClane. McCain. Motherfucking McCain, like McDonald's. Oh well. But even though I would tell him it was John McCain, he would still say, "Hey, what about that McClane?" I'd just be like, But I wasn't a douchebag. I didn't say like, "Hey, Phil, that's John McClane is the character from Die Hard, the Die Hard series with Bruce Willis." Yeah. No. Or I didn't want to spoil his fun. I didn't want to see Phil at the voting booth though. "Hey, where's McClane at? All I see is this guy McCain." "Ma'am, I don't see McClane on the ballot." "Sir, it's McCain." "Oh." Well, if J.D. Vance runs for president for 2028, you know what? My Everybody Vance Now video. Oh man, maybe I'll do a redo, like enhanced version or something. Yeah, I thought Rockstar was going to release Grand Theft Auto 6 on May 26th of this year, but it's going to be May 26th, 2026. Ooh. Oh, are companies thinking that they'll make more profit if they release things during the 250th America's birthday? Huh. I wonder if corporations are like, hey, let's save our best shit for 2026. Because that's the 250th anniversary of America. Let's release stuff just from May to August or something. I don't know if that's actually a corporate strategy or something, but you know. I'm gonna get in the American flag business just for the lead up to July 4th, 2026. I suddenly become a peddler of American t-shirts and like flags. What? Happy 5/15/2025. It's not an official holiday, but it is a song by The Who off the Tommy album, and I guess it's a musical too. It's a Whoosical. Yeah, that's always one of my favorite bands is The Who. Yeah, I mean they just had it, you know. They had the spirit, they had the energy, they had the everything. The rebellion, they had the it's like one of the first bands I listened to that could appeal. They had music that could appeal to a little kid when I was growing up in the 1980s, and then they appealed to me as I grew older. So it's like a band you can listen to your entire life, and it's like, wow, you know, because they have music that appeals to kids that's not too heavy. And so they have like, you know, the Magic Bus or Boris the Spider, My Generation, Won't Get Fooled Again, all that stuff. So they have stuff that really pumps up children, and you know, great creative music, and Bob O'Reilly and so on. And then when you get older, you can listen to their edgier stuff, and then so it's great because you can listen to a quick one while he's away, or Trick of the Light, or I guess when you're a kid you can listen to Who Are You. I guess that's simple. Well, except for the part where he goes, "Who the motherfucker you?" But they on the rate for kids they usually blank that part out. Who the motherfucker you? Yeah, they don't usually say that one, but I like the cursing on the Rock Jam. I think it's, you know, it doesn't have to be there because obviously the radio edits when I was growing up didn't have "Who the motherfucker you" on there, but I think it does add something to the song. Who the motherfucker you? Yeah, that's great. It adds something to it, definitely. Always found that British rock to be awesome, especially that the classic rock. You know, the Beatles and the Who, Jethro Tull, and the Rolling Stones, etc. They do have this great DVD. It's called the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, and it has a lot of those British groups all in the same place, and the broken up Beatles. It has Jethro Tull, the Who, um, Taj Mahal is not very famous anymore. Had Marianne Faithfull. She just passed away. She was like a British pop singer, and then. Well, John Lennon and the Plastic Oko Band. The shit's really funny because Yoko Ono can't sing. And so when John Lennon's jamming out and she starts singing, it's like, oh, and it just sounds like shit. It's kind of like funny. It's almost like comic relief. Yeah. And my parents always said that the guy who's playing the violins try not to laugh because the singing is so terrible. That's probably what it is, yeah. Yeah, I suppose maybe John Lennon got a lot of heat about Yoko Ono. You know, she got the bad rap for breaking up the Beatles and stuff like that. But you know what? I think also maybe the public was harsh on John Lennon because they thought, well, you're John Lennon, you're like a Beatle, you're supposed to get like a super hot smoking babe, and he didn't, and so he didn't get a super. I mean, she was all right looking, but she wasn't like a, 10 plus. She wasn't like a dime piece, so she wasn't high on the Babeter scale, and so. Yeah, probably the public of John Lennon was like, hey, look, he can get, pretty attractive birds, pretty attractive babes, and he just gets kind of not even a super hot, Asian babe, just like, they fell in love or whatever, or connected on some kind of level, and so connected, I guess, their love of art or something like that. Besides sexual attraction and all that stuff, so yeah. But that part is funny in Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, where she's like, ah, it's whoo. Oh, it also has a young Eric Clapton in it too, so it's got Eric Clapton jamming, fucking John Lennon, Rolling Stones, The Who, Jethro Tull. I mean, it's like, if you love classic rock, you're going to be like, oh my God. Yeah. I wish I could take a time machine and go to that. But thankfully they have the DVD, which is, thankfully they recorded it, so they got that kind of time machine. The video footage. So. We don't have a real time machine, we have the video time machine, so. The video time capsules. The Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus is very famous, not only because it had all these bands in British popularity and success, but also because The Who comes out and does this badass performance, and they blow the Rolling Stones off their own show, which is very funny. Yeah, it makes you almost want to say, "Man, I wish this was the Who circus," but thankfully, they have a great Who DVD that chronicles their career from like pretty much start to finish, and it's called "The Who, The Kids Are All Right," and that one is amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. I used to watch those music DVDs all the time. I'd watch Neil Young, Rust Never Sleeps, Rolling Stones, Rock and Roll Circus, The Who, The Kids Are All Right, and then David Bowie, The Best of Bowie. And it's like, man, musical entertainment for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, I saw the Who in 2007. They did a triumphant reunion tour, and then it was triumphant because Pete Townsend was accused of having kiddie porn on his computers, and that he was exonerated. And then you had John Entwistle had just died in 2003 or 2005 of a drug overdose. He did something called a speedball or something like that. Which is like, I guess it's cocaine, heroin mixed together. I've never done it. Doesn't seem like something I'd be interested in. So, or it's not only something I could be that I'm not interested in. It's also something that I cannot afford. And I heard that all these people died doing it. So, it's not my number one priority. So for Who fans, for Pete Townsend to be, not in prison for, I don't know if I really trust the British government. I don't trust any government, but the British government, if I was a British citizen, they're arrested right now. They're arresting people for tweets. It's easier to create a tyranny on an island than it is to create one in the United States. I'm certain the Democrat Party and people will try to create a tyranny, like certain corporations, certain political parties, certain people will try to create Orwellian tyranny in the United States and take away our civil liberties and take away our rights and privileges and the Bill of Rights, constitutional amendments, etc. But I think generally Americans won't have it, and they'll give a middle finger to the government, and so they'll have a problem on their hands. So it's easier to control in a totalitarian fashion. An island, it's much smaller, but a big sprawling country. It's not impossible to do. Someone will try when they get power in the future, some corrupt party or some corrupt bastards, but basically the American people will tell them to shove it where the sun don't shine, and kiss our rebel dicks or kiss our asses. I'm hoping Great Britain doesn't go to civil war or something over this, but they may go to civil war for free speech and because of unfettered immigration and illegal immigration problems. Yeah. Hope not, but it looks like it's going down a dark path over there. Hey, I'm heading out. Why, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, Bella ate.
Uh-huh.
Did she drink a lot of water?
Yeah.
You could just let her eat just with that.
Oh, I just did.
No, I mean, she just drank more water.
Well, I just took her before you came back.
She's just acting funny, she won't let it.
All right. I'll take her out when I... All right, I'll be back. Yeah. Well, the whole purpose of me taking out my dog to go take a piss early was that so I wouldn't have to do it again. So